Hello student, welcome to my channel. Today we learn centroid of some common section. Chapter name Center of Gravity under Engineering Mechanics. This is a T section. This is called flange. This is wave. Area of the flange is A1. Area of wave is A2. First, we draw x-axis and y-axis. This figure, if we draw a line with parallel to y-axis, middle of the T section, this portion and this portion will be mirror image. This portion and this portion are equal. This parallel line, y-axis parallel, divided it into two parts. So this section is symmetrical about y-axis, as y-axis parallel line divided it into two parts. Okay, this area A1, it is marked at as 1, number 1. G1 is the CG. From y-axis distance is x1. From x-axis distance is y1. This distance is y1. This is area 2. Area is A2, marked as 2. G2 is the CG of this area. This is wave. CG or centroid distance from y-axis is x2. Centroid G2 from x-axis is y2. Now y bar equal to A1 y1 plus A2 y2 by A1 plus A2. X bar G is the total T section, CG is G. This is X bar, Y bar. This distance is Y bar. This distance is fixed. This distance is half of this distance. Here only we calculate y bar. This distance x bar x bar is half of this distance, flange, top flange, this flange distance, half of this flange. Okay, this is the I section. This is the I section. This is top flange. This is wave. This is bottom flange. First we draw x-axis and y-axis. Okay, top flange area is A1, top flange centroid is G1, it is marked as number 1. Distance of G1 from y-axis is x1, distance of G1 from x-axis is y1. This is the distance y1. This is the wave marked as 2, number 2. Area is A2. This area is A2. G2 is the centroid. G2 is the centroid. This is the G2. Distance from y-axis is x2. G2 distance from x-axis is y2. Okay. Bottom flange G3 is the centroid. Distance from y-axis is x3. Distance from x-axis is y3. It is marked as number 3. Area is A3. If we draw a line parallel to the y-axis, this is the middle of the I section. This is parallel to y-axis. This line, this middle line, divide all the section into two parts. This part, and this part is equal. This part and this part is the mirror image. As it is parallel to y-axis, then this figure is symmetrical about y-axis. Here total section is I section. Total section CG is capital G. This is x bar, y bar. Here x bar is fixed. X bar distance is, x bar means distance from y axis. This is fixed. This is total length by 2. This is fixed. Total length, total bottom flange length by 2. This is x bar. We only calculate y bar. Y bar equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 by a1 plus a2 plus A3. It is clear? Now we find out centroid of channel or C section. This is a channel section or C section. Upper area, we join this portion and this portion. This is area is A1, marked as number 1. This is area A2, marked as number 2. This is area A3, marked as number 3. First we draw x-axis and y-axis. Okay. Number 1 area, this is number 1 area. G1 is the centroid of number 1 area. Distance of G1 centroid from y-axis is x1. Distance of G1 from x-axis is y1. This is the area 2. G2 is the centroid of that area. Distance of G2 from y-axis is x2. Distance of G2 from x-axis is y2. Okay. This area, number 3 area, CG is G3. Distance of centroid or CG, centroid G3 from y-axis is x3. Distance of G3 from x-axis is y3. Here, if we draw a line parallel to x-axis, this is parallel to x-axis, it is divided into two parts, this part and this part. This is the mirror image. So this is symmetrical about x-axis, as this line divided the C section into two parts, and this is parallel to x-axis. So channel section is symmetrical about x-axis. Here y bar is fixed. Y bar is, this distance is y bar. This is this height, this length by 2. This is y bar. We only calculate x bar. X bar equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3. This is x3. This is x3 by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Okay. Now we find out centroid of L section. This is the L section. We divided it. It is joined by dotted line. This area is A2. It is marked as number 2. This area is A1. This is marked as number 1. First draw x-axis and y-axis. Okay. If we draw a parallel line parallel to x-axis, this figure not divided into two parts. If we draw a line parallel to y-axis, this figure not divided into two parts. So L section not symmetrical about any axis. If draw parallel to x-axis, not divided into two parts. If draw parallel to y-axis, not divided into two parts. So not symmetrical about any axis. Number 1 area is A1, G1 is the centroid, distance from y-axis is x1, distance from x-axis is y1. This area is A2, G2 is the centroid of that area, G2 distance from y-axis is x2, from x-axis is y2. G is the CG of the whole section. Whole section means L section. G is the centroid of the L section. This is x bar, y bar. Here formula is x bar equal to A1 x1 plus A2 x2 by A1 plus A2. Y bar equal to A1 y1 plus A2 y2 by A1 plus A2. It is clear? Now we find out centroid of Z section. This is the Z section. We join this portion and join this portion. This area is marked as number 1. This is area A1. This is marked as number 2. Area is A2. This is marked as number 3. Area is A3. First draw the x-axis and y-axis. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. If we draw a line parallel to x-axis, this section not divided into two parts. Again, if we draw a line parallel to y-axis, this figure not divided into two part. So Z section not symmetrical about any axis. Here G1 is the centroid of area 1. Distance from y-axis G1 is x1. Distance from x-axis y1. This is area is A2. G2 is the CG of area A2. G2 distance from y-axis is x2. G2 distance from x-axis is y2. This is the area A3. G3 is the centroid. G3 distance from y-axis is x3. G3 distance from x-axis is y3. Now total Z section is this section number 2, number 1 and number 3. Here we find out both x bar and y bar. X bar means distance of CG of total section from y-axis. Y bar equal to distance of CG of total section from x-axis. X bar equal to A1 x1 plus A2 x2 plus A3 x3 by A1 plus A2 plus A3. Y bar equal to A1 y1 plus A2 y2 plus A3 y3 by A1 plus A2 plus A3. It is clear, my student?